All right. What is up, new community students and friends? Minister Alex here, coming back at you again. It's an amazing Sunday to come together and learn more about God. At the end of the day, y'all, this is what matters right here. God, His Word, and living according to His Word. If you think deeply, nothing else matters. All of the earthly things that we think are super important, what school we go to, who we marry, whether Kim is salty with Kanye or not, all of that stuff at the end of the day, when we die, won't matter. I will tell you what will matter though. When you stand before a holy and righteous God, and He looks down at you and asks you, how did you live your life? Did you live according to my word? According to what I said? I don't know about y'all, but that's a scary thought to me. I'm trying my best to be able to get to that moment and say, God, I studied your word. And every day I worked hard on living it out. That's a free nugget of wisdom. Let those of you who are wise hear and add to their learning, says Proverbs 1:5. Matter of fact, that's our topic of discussion for today. Wisdom. Wisdom. It's not the most commonly used word today, but I assume that everyone has at least heard it and has a general understanding of what it means. Wisdom is more than just intelligence. Like, there are smart people out there with big brains and they're intelligent. That's not really wisdom though. Wisdom is applied knowledge. Applied knowledge. That's when you learn something and it actually changes the way that you live. You begin to use the knowledge and it makes you better. That's called living wisely. Acquiring wisdom. When you apply knowledge, at its very core, in its purest form, wisdom is simply right living. If you let me put it another way, at its very purest form, wisdom is knowing the right way. The wise person is someone who knows the right way. I guess it would probably be appropriate right now to ask you guys, do you know the way? That's an old meme. But for real, do you know the way? That is wisdom. We're in the middle of a study through the Bible, specifically through a letter written by the brother of Jesus. His name was James. We're studying the letter of James, and we've made it all the way to chapter 3. Right now, we're going to be looking at chapter 3, verses 13 to 18. Here, James is talking about wisdom, which is what we're focusing on today. He tells us at the end of his life, after he's got gray hair on his head, like the grandpa that we've always wanted, Grandpa James says, gather around, y'all. Gather around. I've got something to tell you. Something important. This is what he says. There are two types of wisdom out there in the world. There's one type of wisdom that is from God. It's heavenly, it's good, it's right, it's the wisdom that we want. And there's another type of wisdom that is earthly. It's animalistic. It's not spiritual. It's not heavenly. Matter of fact, he says it's demonic. That's what James says. There are two types of wisdom. Let me read the passage together that we're working through so that y'all can see it for yourself. I'm reading from the Message version today, and I've done a little of my own translation for clarity. It says this, James 3:13 through 18. Do you want to be known as someone who is wise? Here's what you do. Live well, live wisely, and live with humility. It's the way that you live, not the way that you talk, that counts. Mean-spirited ambition is not wisdom. Bragging that you're a wise person is not wisdom. Twisting the truth to make yourself sound wise is not wisdom. It's the furthest thing from wisdom. It's earthly, unspiritual, animalistic, and demonic. All right. Already we see some things that are important. As Christians, we should work to live well and live wisely. I would venture to say this. How can we do that without the Bible? The Bible is what helps us live well, and the Bible is where we learn the way. Cool fact for you. Did you know that people in Jesus' day who followed him were not known as Christians, like we're called today? They were called people of the way. They were called people of the way. It wasn't until later that they were called Christians. The Bible is essential for us to learn the way. What does Jesus say? He says, I am the way. So Jesus is where we start, and God's word, the Bible, is what helps us know the right way. Continuing, it says, bragging and trying to make yourself sound wise, James says, selfish ambition and bitter envy. These two things are not what characterizes the wisdom of God. In fact, James says that that type of wisdom is earthly, unspiritual, literally the word animalistic, and demonic. Notice something huge here. I want us to focus in right here. You're going to get something. There are three spiritual enemies that we face. The world, which is what he describes earthly. Then he says animalistic or unspiritual. That's the flesh. And demonic, that's the devil. Here stands our three spiritual enemies, the world, the flesh, and the devil. Stand guard against these three things, for they will poison your soul, and you will lose yourself. You'll fall off the path. You'll lose your way. He says, stand guard. That type of wisdom is perpetuated by the three spiritual enemies of our soul. Let's keep reading. Whenever you're trying to look better than others or get the better of others, things fall apart. There's confusion and all kinds of evil. Verses 17 and 18. Real wisdom, God's wisdom, begins with a holy life and is characterized by getting along with others. It is gentle and reasonable, overflowing with mercy and blessing, not hot one day and cold the next, not two-faced. You can develop a healthy, robust community that lives right with God and enjoy its results only if you do the hard work of getting along with each other, treating each other with dignity and honor. All right. Wow. Let the wise hear and add to their understanding. I want you guys, and I encourage you guys to study this. There are two types of wisdom, one that is from God and one that is demonic. The tough part is, y'all, that right now the world celebrates demonic wisdom. They celebrate people who are full of envy, those who have selfish ambition, those who trample on others to get ahead, those who do whatever it takes to get things done. Those are the people who look like they're getting ahead in life, and you might be tempted to copy them. Let me tell you though, their lives are earthly, unspiritual, and demonic. Do not follow them. That's not the way of Jesus. Strive to live holy lives. Live wisely, get along with others, be gentle, be reasonable, overflow with mercy and blessing. Don't be two-faced. Strive to make peace and be at peace with others. Be considerate and submissive. God honors that. And when you live that way, you're planting seeds of righteousness, and you will reap that fruit and eat of it, and your life will be blessed. Your future depends on it. I leave you with that, students and friends. Be blessed. If this message blessed you, drop me a comment, drop a like, share it with your friends and family. I'm so blessed to be here today with you guys. I hope to see you next week. Bye, everybody.